2025 hasn't exactly been kind to moviegoers. From overhyped blockbusters to star-studded flops, this year has served up its fair share of cinematic disappointments. Whether it's botched adaptations, bloated action flicks, or vanity projects gone wrong, some films promised magic, but delivered headaches instead. Here's a countdown of the top 10 worst movies of 2025. Films that proved that even big budgets and big names can't guarantee a hit. So, the 10th worst movie of 2025 on our list is In the Lost Lands. It's easy to see why In the Lost Lands slipped under the radar, or why many people never knew it was released at all. Paul W. S. Anderson's adaptation of George R. R. Martin's 1982 short story crashes hard, weighed down by cheap-looking CGI, clunky exposition, and lifeless performances. What might have been an adventurous fantasy tale instead drags into a tiresome trudge. Not even Dave Bautista's rugged presence or Mila Jovovich's on-screen reunion with her Resident Evil director and real-life husband can rescue the film from its muddled world-building and sluggish pace. Unsurprisingly, it crept into a token-limited release, quickly forgotten before critics even finished sharpening their blades. And the 9th worst movie of 2025 is Flight Risk. If the biggest selling point of your movie is Mark Wahlberg's freshly shaved head, you're probably in trouble. That was certainly the case with Flight Risk, a loud, exaggerated action thriller helmed by none other than Mel Gibson, Hollywood's sometimes celebrated, sometimes shunned director. Marking his first feature since 2016's Oscar-winning Hacksaw Ridge, Gibson's latest effort never even got off the runway. Despite boasting a strong cast, with Wahlberg joined by Topher Grace and Downton Abbey's Michelle Dockery, the film turned out to be exactly what its title warned: a risk with no reward. And on number 8, we have The Alto Knights. There was a time when Robert De Niro playing not one but two iconic mobsters in a single movie would have guaranteed box office gold. Sadly, The Alto Knights proves that era has passed. Under Barry Levinson's uninspired direction, the film crawls along despite having De Niro portraying both Frank Costello and Vito Genovese, a script from Goodfellas writer Nicholas Pileggi, and even a few familiar faces from The Sopranos. The pacing is sluggish, the dialogue recycled, and De Niro's double role feels more like self-indulgent parody than a masterclass in acting. The result? A meager $9 million take on a $50 million budget, and a stark reminder that star power alone can't breathe life into a film running on empty. And on number 7, we have Bride Hard. Remember the sharp thrills of Die Hard or the hilariously awkward weddings in Bridesmaids? Bride Hard attempts to combine the two, but stumbles badly in the process. Even with a strong ensemble, featuring Rebel Wilson, Anna Camp, Anna Klumsky, and Oscar winner Da'Vine Joy Randolph, the film can't find its footing. Instead, it veers clumsily between goofy slapstick and over-the-top shootouts, landing with all the elegance of a drunk bridesmaid. In short, this wedding movie is one that should have never made it down the aisle. And the 6th worst movie is a Minecraft movie. In hindsight, this flop was almost inevitable. How do you stretch a video game famous for its freedom and lack of story into a feature film? The short answer, you really can't. To his credit, Napoleon Dynamite and Nacho Libre director Jared Hess gave it an honest try. A Minecraft movie has a few sparks of promise, but it never fully clicks, coming across less like a boundless sandbox and more like a half-hearted shrug. The project may have been doomed from the start, tasked with appealing both to die-hard Minecraft players and to audiences with no connection to the game. In the end, it falls into the same trap as so many other game-to-screen efforts. You're better off just playing the original. And the 5th worst movie of 2025 is The Electric State. It feels a little brutal to say, but more than 5 years after Avengers Endgame, audiences have learned not to expect much from Anthony and Joe Russo. Since their Marvel high point, the brothers have stumbled repeatedly, and the Electric State continues that downward trend. Their second Netflix collaboration even ropes in MCU alums Chris Pratt and Anthony Mackie, yet the big names can't disguise the fact that this is more content than cinema. Bloated, unfocused, and lifeless, the film sputters along while chewing through a jaw-dropping $300 million budget. Sure, it's epic in size, but in execution, it's a flat line. No surprise that this one is best left unplugged. And on number 4 we have Star Trek, Section 31. Section 31 was meant to be a daring new chapter for the Star Trek universe, but it ends up feeling like a stranded shuttle, technically intact, yet going nowhere. Marketed as a sleek spy thriller spin-off featuring Michelle Yeoh's Philippa Georgiou, the show instead leans heavily on recycled tropes, a relentlessly grim tone, and convoluted lore that even longtime Trekkies found draining. Yeoh's Oscar-winning presence can't elevate the series beyond a perfunctory franchise obligation. Ultimately, Section 31 is as forgettable as any straight-to-streaming footnote, boldly venturing into territory the franchise has explored countless times before, just with darker lighting and far less enjoyment. And the third worst movie is Love Hurts. You can thank the post-Taken wave of ordinary man with a hidden past thrillers for giving us yet another tired copycat. But Love Hurts somehow manages to sink even lower. Fresh off his Oscar win for Everything Everywhere, All at Once, Ke Huy Quan stars as Marvin Gable, a regular guy whose budding romance quickly spirals into a blood-soaked frenzy. With producer David Leitch, whose credits include John Wick, Atomic Blonde, and Deadpool 2, attached, you'd expect slick, high-octane action. Instead, the film delivers clumsy fight scenes, sitcom-grade dialogue, and a storyline stitched from cliches we've all seen 100 times. Critics buried it with a 19% Rotten Tomatoes score, and audiences weren't fooled either. The movie failed to earn back even its modest $18 million budget. And on number 2, we have Hurry Up Tomorrow. After the train wreck that was HBO's The Idol, you'd think someone might have put the brakes on the weekend's Hollywood aspirations. Instead, we got Hurry Up Tomorrow, a bleak, wandering vanity project that makes it clear Abel Tesfaye should probably stick to music. While the film boasts sleek cinematography and sprinkles in some thought-provoking commentary on fame and celebrity in the modern age, it buckles under its own pretentiousness. Tesfaye seems to be reaching for arthouse allure, but what we get is an overwrought mess with almost no emotional resonance. Much like The Idol, Hurry Up Tomorrow mistakes ambiguity for depth, and in the end, it delivers very little, very slowly. And the last worst movie of 2025 on our list is Snow White. Mark Webb, best known for The Amazing Spider-Man, brought his live-action Snow White to theaters already bruised by controversy. From Rachel Zegler's perceived critiques of the 1937 original to Gal Gadot's involvement amid the ongoing conflict in Gaza, the film was wading through negative headlines before its opening. Still, none of that would have mattered if the movie itself delivered. But it doesn't. Webb's Snow White is weighed down by uncanny CGI, lifeless musical numbers, and a script so sanitized that it drains the fairy tale of any real danger or wonder. On a staggering near $300 million budget, the film earned just over $200 million globally, a reminder that even Disney magic can spoil when the apples at the core are rotten. Did you catch any of these 2025 flops in theaters? Are there other duds we missed? Share your thoughts in the comments.